Good night and welcome to Benalmádena's first English news broadcast. Digital Costa del Sol brings you every Friday all the information about this week's news. The remodeling works at the Anica Torres Active Participation Center are scheduled to begin soon. This project is key to attend the more than 5,000 users that this municipal facility has in Arroyo de la Miel.
Benalmádena's Mayor Víctor Navas, Third Age Councilwoman Irene Díaz, and Buildings Councilwoman María Isabel Ruiz offered a press conference last week to announce the start of the remodeling and expansion works of the Anica Torres Active Participation Center that will start in the next weeks, highlighting the importance of this reform that will completely modernize the building. Navas explained how was the process they followed since their arrival at City Council to carry the project forward. This center was built when Benalmádena had a population of about 35,000 inhabitants. The municipality now has 70,000 residents on a coastal municipality that attracts people to live as a result of the amount of opportunity that generates here. We could have liked to have completed this project a couple of years ago, but when we arrived at the City Council, we found ourselves in a situation of great economic precariousness with 124 million of financial debt in the public offers. It was necessary to seek funding, put out the drafting of the project, and open a participation process so that the elderly will decide how they wanted the expansion to be, procedures that required time. At the end of 2018, with financing already available after settling the debts and having already cleared the expansion model that its users wanted, the project was put out to tender, which works should have begun in February of this year, but the COVID-19 pandemic has delayed everything, causing an unavoidable delay of 7 months with respect to the planned start date of works. Díaz, head of the elders area, highlighted the enthusiasm of the users who are eager to discover the new facilities and emphasized that it is necessary to break with the outdated concept of the retirement asylum. For this government team, the elderly have always been a priority, and this project is a new proof of this. The expansion is a demand that they have been requesting for many years, because there are already more than 5,000 users with which we have to adapt the center to meet the new demand and needs that our elders have. We need to get rid of that old retirement asylum concept. This is an active participation center, and that's because our elders are very active. For Ruiz, the work will respond to a series of needs that the center had, such as more space, better lighting and ventilation, an interior reform, and the creation of new spaces such as a hairdresser area, a computer room, a games room, and a medical office, among others. The project has a budget of €1,151,000. It is a project that has been developed with a great enthusiasm by the government team, and we have been working on it for 2 years now. The works will begin approximately in a period of 3 weeks, have an execution period of 174 days.
After the crisis caused by the coronavirus that is forcing change in society's shopping habits, businesses have to adapt or die, and online sales are now an essential requirement for their survival.
Commerce Councilman Javier Marín and ACEP's President Rosa González present on Monday Ben al Mercado, a digital tool created by the Businesses Association thanks to a grant from City Council that seeks to become the reference online store of the residents and entrepreneurs on the municipality. Marín highlighted the boost that a tool of this type can give to a business's sale, and after thanking the entrepreneurs for their trust, invited all the neighbors to visit the platform to discover everything that the business fabric of the municipality has to offer. A few months ago, we announced a subsidy that was granted from the commerce area to AFEP, the Association of Merchants and Businessmen of the municipality, to start the procedure for the creation of a digital sales platform for our businesses. As of today, we can say that there are already 150 small businesses supporting this initiative. We believe that at this point it is necessary to give a new impulse to the platform, and I want to encourage the entire population, especially businesses, to use the platform since users increasingly demand online sales. I want to thank our merchants for the effort that they've made taking this important step to modernize themselves and enter this digital age. With a cost of €0, thanks to the contribution of €5,200 made by City Council and the efforts of the Merchants Association, we are making this a reality. The population is increasingly demanding online services from the entire commercial fabric, not only catering, which is having great success on the platform, but also retail stores and retail trade in general. For her part, González explained that the development of this action is due to the need to create new sales channels as a way to fight the closures expected for this winter as a result of the crisis caused by the coronavirus.
We just present the platform called Ven al Mercado, which is a shop online of, patronized by the Asociación de Empresarios and the Town Hall of Benalmádena. This platform, the objective is to be able to buy online like the other platform that you can do in any other way. We have many local commercials and many local shops that they are going to be closed because they have no enough clients. This way, people can buy 24 hours a day, every day of the week. Ven al Mercado has shops of butcher, has bakeries, has fruits, has everything, and services as well. This means if you want to get in contact with a lawyer, with fiscal advisor, you want to get in contact with an architect, you want to have a service for your dog, you want to have a vet, doctor, they will be in this platform. The only thing you got to do is go through the different categories on the platform and make your shoppings. As I said, everything will be delivered at home if you want to, and if not, just ready to pick it up in the shop.
For the president of Local Entrepreneurs, this is a unique opportunity for neighborhood stores of small businesses in the municipality, and she has invited neighbors and entrepreneurs to visit benalmercado.com and make it the reference shopping page.
I just invite everyone to join this platform. If you are a business person who has a shop, you are more than welcome. It's completely free. And if you are just a user, you want to use this platform, you are welcome to use it and try once or two times. That it will be a benefit for the whole community because all this economy will stay locally.
Benalmádena City Council celebrated last week September's ordinary plenary session that left us, among other points, the approval of motions to improve mental health care and to support the construction of the Palace of the Arts. Benalmádena City Council hosted last week the celebration of September's ordinary plenary meeting, which dealt with a motion regarding mental health, announced by the government team earlier during the month in a press conference with the president of AFESOL, the association that had proposed the motion. Social Welfare Councilwoman Alicia Ladaga was in charge of exposing this point, that advocated for improving mental health care, giving support and recognition for people with mental health problems and their families. The motion was approved with the vote in favor of all groups and without a debate due to its institutional nature. I want to thank all the colleagues from this corporation for voting positively, making us able to bring the motion in an institutional way. These type of motions are important to us as the closest administration because they give us support to continue applying and have more projects to care for people with mental health problems. I also have to say that we have the luck in Benalmádena to have an association and a social employment center like AFESOL, which gives coverage to this collective, accompanies them on one side verifying that they carry out their medical treatment and on the other organizing workshops that made them socialize, feeling busy and useful. Immediately after, in the following point, a motion from the mayor's office to support the demand of Benalmádena's cultural world to build a Palace of the Arts was debated. Izquierda Unida representative Elena Galán, in charge of the culture area, presented the text of the motion, prepared by the Platform for the Construction of an Arts Palace on Benalmádena, an entity created with the aim of making this project a reality.
Yo creo que todos somos conocedores de la moción.
I believe that we all know the motion, and it is the Platform for the Construction of an Arts Palace in Benalmádena who presents it. I'm only reading it as Culture Councilwoman, as a spokesman on their name, but I want to clarify that it is them who presented the motion and agreed on the modifications made. Vox representative Gemma Carrillo was the first to respond, highlighting that it doesn't seem a bad idea, but they will not support the initiative because they believe that it is not the time. The leader of Ciudadanos, Juan Antonio Vargas, who agreed with some of the arguments made by Carrillo, proposed modification in exchange for his support. PP's representative María José Lara announced her group's support for the motion, highlighting the need for a space of these characteristics that the municipality has. Galán intervened again to close the debate, explaining that she was not going to accept modification or amendments to not alter the text proposed by the platform.
Debe de quedarse tal y como se acordó y además
It must remain as agreed, which is what I transmitted to the members of the platform, that there will be only one change, which is the part that was introduced with regard to other lands that could have the same characteristic, and that in 2021 it could be, provided that the conditions allow it, the start of the preparation of the project for this space. But I believe that if not, the only thing we do is a toast to the sun, without any value. And this way is better to show a bit more commitment without tying us to anything, since it is just a motion that if you don't comply with it, nothing happens. It is simply a small commitment from the corporation before that scenario, always and when possible. The motion was approved with the votes in favor of the government team and PP, the abstention of Ciudadanos, and the negative vote from Vox. A direct grant from city councils to Benalmádena's Cruz Roja has allowed the distribution of more than 1,000 postcards among 650 families on the municipality, just another example of the great work being done by social welfare area.
Social Welfare Councilwoman Alicia Ladaga reported a few weeks ago that the Red Cross has already distributed 1,200 postcards, each worth €50, among 650 families from the municipality at risk of social exclusion. The collaboration agreement between City Council and the Red Cross, signed last April during the state of alarm caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, involved a direct subsidy of €60,000 from the local administration to the NGO. The Mayor Victor Navas showed pride on the work that is being done by social welfare.
Muy satisfechos, ¿no? Porque entendemos que nuestros servicios.
Very satisfied because we understand that our social services, despite the difficulties, are responding to citizens at a difficult time. An economic crisis, a global pandemic, and the need of many neighbors who, in a tourist municipality such as Benalmádena, need the support of their closest institution or administration, which is the town hall. The beneficiary families of these grants have been referred from social welfare through a technical prescription report in order to prioritize the most urgent cases so that the distribution is carried out in a coordinated and efficient manner. The purchase of food through these postcards has been made at the Mascom stores. The Red Cross Local Assembly of Benalmádena signed a collaboration agreement with this supermarket chain for the coordination of financial donations direct to the acquisition of food and other basic necessities. Navas valued positively this initiative, emphasizing the importance of not leaving anyone behind.
La subvención que se otorgó a Cruz Roja fueron.
The grant that was granted to the Red Cross was €60,000, which has allowed 1,200 wallet cards to 650 families on Benalmádena, something that has allowed many workers or vulnerable families and people in difficult situations due to the closure of businesses to be able to fill up the fridge in a complicated and difficult time. So I think that the administration is knowing how to react to the occasion and the moment. For her part, the president of the local assembly of the Red Cross in Benalmádena, Paqui López, stressed that it has been a pleasure to collaborate with the delegation of social welfare and its technicians, and thanked the Red Cross for the trust placed in the institution to manage this grant.
The Spanish government delivered last week more than 17,000 masks to Benalmádena City Council, in charge of its distribution between essential public service workers and people at risk of social exclusion.
Security Councilman Javier Marín announced that the government has just delivered a total of 17,500 masks to the City Council for its distribution between essential public workers and people at risk of social exclusion.
Un material que ha comprado el propio Estado.
This is a material that the central government purchased, and now we are handling the distribution following parameters that have been given to us. As the entire population has been able to check, in these days a lot of material has arrived to our educational centers and also a reserve allocation to our essential services, something that is very interesting, especially for the winter, which is presenting very hard this year from the point of view of occupational hazard prevention due to the problem of COVID-19. Of the 17,500 masks, more than 4,000 units will be distributed among essential public service workers, 10,800 among students at risk of social exclusion and non-teaching personnel associated with educational centers, and 2,000 for social services users. The mask distribution began last Friday, carried out by Benalmádena's civil protection volunteers. I want to thank the effort that the central government has made to support the city councils, putting his shoulder at a time when it's very necessary. All the self-protection material that we receive is welcome. We are following their guidelines for its distribution. The government subdelegation in Málaga distributed 532,000 masks to the municipalities of the province and to social entities after the meeting held by the Ministries of Health and Territorial Policy and Public Function with the Spanish Federation of Municipalities and Provinces. With this new distribution, the third since April, the central government has already distributed more than 1.5 million masks in Málaga.
City Council raises a citizen query to choose the new location of the Canine Beach. Now Benalmádena's neighbors will have to choose between two locations, one at Arroyo Hondo Beach and the other at Las Yucas western stretch.
Benalmádena's mayor, Víctor Navas, and Beaches councilwoman Encarnación Cortés announced on Monday that the citizen consultation has been launched on the Citizens Participation Portal for residents to choose between two possible options to establish the new location for the Canine Beach.
Pues abrir la puerta a la participación a todas las fuerzas políticas para que opinasen.
We open the door to the participation of all political forces with representation in the plenary to determine the new location of the Canine Beach. And in that meeting, we decided that the best thing was to propose a couple of possible locations and submit them to the consultation of the public to decide which place seemed best to them. For this reason, launching this citizen consultation is not a sole decision of the government team, but of the entire corporation, which will be endorsed by the Benalmádena citizens with their vote. This first location, chosen by the government team, generated some controversy among some neighbors and groups involved who did not consider the location appropriate. Navas highlighted this type of consultation as a way of making citizens participate on the decision-making process.
En principio habíamos estimado.
The first location was directly chosen by the government team, and the choice of a specific location always generates some controversy because many agents and groups come together who benefit or harm according to their situation with respect to the location. The two locations to choose from are Arroyo Hondo, the beach located between the Playa Bonita breakwater and the mouth of the stream of the same name, or the western stretch of Las Yucas Beach, located between the cliffs in front of Flat Hotel Internacional. Cortés highlighted the work that has been done for some time in the beach area to make this project a reality, and explained that the new options have been agreed with the political forces. For years in the beaches area, we have studied the different beaches in the municipality to determine the best option for the dedicated to pets. And initially, we opt for the Tajo de la Soga. The two options that we raise in the consultation arise from consensus with the rest of the political forces with representation in the plenary session. The mayor of Playas explained that they understand that the dog beach can be a dynamic or mobile concept due to the usual winter storms on our coastline, which sometimes affect the amount of sun on our beaches.
Nosotros entendemos que no va a ser algo fijo.
We understand that the location of the dog beach must have a dynamic and non-permanent nature. Storms cause some beaches to run out of sun, so we are at the expense of the weather conditions so that a dog beach can develop its full potential. Each option has an aerial photograph and a file with relevant information about each location, such as surface area, accesses, type of sun.
UK's Ambassador Hugh Elliott posted a video message on Facebook reminding UK nationals to register as resident as soon as possible and reassuring that their rights are protected under the withdrawal agreement.
Just 100 days away from the end of the transition period on December 31st, the British ambassador in Madrid, Hugh Elliott, has recorded a video message for UK nationals living in Spain, reminding them the need to register as a resident as soon as possible and acknowledging that there are difficulties with getting appointments in some areas. The ambassador reassured to UK nationals that their rights living in Spain are already protected under the withdrawal agreement.
Wednesday, the 23rd of September, marks 100 days until the end of the transition period on the 31st of December. Now, as you know, negotiations between the UK and the EU regarding our future relationship are continuing, but I want to reassure you that your rights as UK nationals living in Spain are already protected under the withdrawal agreement between the UK and the EU, and that both the UK and Spanish governments are fully committed to implementing the citizens' rights provisions of that agreement. Now, you'll have heard me say this many times, but I'm going to say it again. If you're living in Spain and haven't already done so, you must register for Spanish residence as soon as you can, please.
UK nationals will still be protected by the agreement as long as they can prove they were legally living in Spain before the end of 2020. The embassy has advised residents to make sure they have documentation like the Padrón certificate, rental agreement or utility bills to demonstrate they were living here before the end of the year. The UK government has also provided funding to 3 organizations to answer questions and provide practical support. Details of this aid can be found at gov.uk Living in Spain.
This is a crucial step in protecting your rights, including your right to live, to work, to study in Spain now and in the future. Now, I know that many of you are struggling to get residency appointments. If you're unable to complete the registration process before the 1st of January, you will still be protected by the withdrawal agreement, as long as you can prove that you were legally resident in Spain before the end of 2020. So we recommend making sure that you have documentation in place, like your Padrón certificate, that demonstrates that. Now, unfortunately, the coronavirus pandemic limits my and our ability to travel and meet you in person, but we'll continue to share information via our Brits in Spain Facebook community, and we'll be hosting regular live Q&As on different topics between now and the end of the year, to keep you informed. So please do join us for those if you can. We also have 3 organisations, Age in Spain, Babelia and the IOM, who are supporting UK nationals who may have difficulty completing the registration process. You can find out more about their work and how to contact them on the Living in Spain guide on gov.uk.
The embassy and consulates around Spain are also running a series of Facebook Live Q&As on different topics related to living in Spain and the actions UK nationals may need to take. All sessions take place on the Brits in Spain Facebook page and are available to watch afterwards. The current schedule is as follows, although the embassy points out that this is subject to change. On October 6, they will discuss pensions, benefits, working and driving. On October 13th, the topic will be healthcare. On October 27th, it will be travel. Further on, they will discuss topics such as education or residency, amongst others.
Supporting UK nationals has been and will remain one of our top priorities at the British Embassy and across our consulates, and will continue to work very closely with the Spanish authorities, who absolutely share our commitment to protecting your rights.
And these are today's headlines. The expansion of the Anica Torres Center begins. City Hall ENACE presents Ven al Mercado. The plenary approved motions on mental health and the Palace of Arts. Navas highlights the work done by social welfare. City Council delivered more than 17,000 masks. Citizens query to choose the Canine Beach. UK's ambassador sent a calm message. The weather forecast for the weekend will leave us with cloudy or overcast skies with rainfall in the interior without ruling out weak rain in the afternoon on the coast. Falling temperatures notable in the highs on the interior, registering the lows at the end of the day. Winds from the west increasing to strong during the afternoon with very strong gusts in high areas. And that's all. Thank you for watching us, and remember, you can stay updated on our website or social media profiles on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night and enjoy the weekend.